Hey, you guys, it's your girl Latanya Vibes, and welcome to Soul and Soil Podcast. This is not my official episode, and I'm like basically a few minutes short of Mental Health Monday now, so we're gonna give this like a this is let's talk about it Tuesday. It's not gonna be a series, but I need to show up, and so we showing up today. And this message kind of came about on Mental Health Monday. And I also kind of got the insight that you need to be mindful. I know I'm already in it, but I'm talking about you need to be mindful of your spiritual life, your mental health, like the same way, because I know Mental Health Monday is primarily about being mindful of your mental health, your capacity, understanding or becoming more self aware, practicing self love. Every time, but I'll unplug it if I got to. I do not mind. I talk real loud. We got it. I'm gonna just talk this shit out. Like I said, Mental Health Monday came about because I wanted us to primarily focus and start giving space in our life to focus on our mental health, like our personal mental health, not the generic as societal, oh, we care about mental health, but it's like, it's very taxing. And I'm learning on, like, with my own practices with mental health, you need community for certain parts of that and of that journey. And if you don't have that, it's going to make a lot of the things that you have to tackle a lot harder. It's going to make accountability a little tougher or not present, because you don't have someone on the outside that has like a different perspective on how you're moving or whatever. But that's neither here nor there. The message for today is your yes is currency and your no is cash back into self-love. I had to get this motherfucking message off before I catch a motherfucker taking my message and running with it like it was just a idea, okay? So that's why I'm showing up. Yesterday, or technically, today, yesterday, or Monday, let's just start with days. Monday, um, I just, I needed to recover. I had a rough, like not a rough weekend. I had a taxing on my body. Like I'm definitely 32. It's giving 32. The bones are feeling it. And no matter how young the spirit is, it's like it's like a time jump where my body, my 32-year-old body got to catch up to my childlike spirit. And it's getting there. It's getting there. But basically I was having a tired day, but then I do remember setting out commitments that I had prior. And I'm one of those, if I give you my word, I'm going to hold myself to it. So I was like, I'm going to show up at one of my girls. She teaches a class, a workout class. So I was like, I'm popping up, right? So I let her know I'm there. I get there. And this whole scenario is what birthed the whole concept that we about to get into. So as I get there, when I first get there, the guy was like, you're a guest. She had me set up. She's like, yeah, that's my guest. Boom, boom, boom. They take my info. And just like a gym, just like every fucking place in the world, when you go in there, they're looking to sell you something. If they don't already, and even if they already have you on an account, like say you are a member, there's always trying to upsell you on something else, right? So I already have a gym membership that's set up through my like workplace to where I get like a discount or whatever, and it's taken out. So I don't even have to see it, which is perfect, right? Discounted and cheap, and it's like it fits all my needs. Like, and literally my kids can go. It's the motherfucking gym for me, right? Well, I'm only going in here to support my friend. That is my original opportunity, like my original intent when I get in there. But the guy, as I'm sitting there, he's trying to talk me. He's like, oh, it's only going to be a penny when you get in here. It's only going to be a penny, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, word. I might check y'all out, like, here, see what y'all got to offer. But again, your girl already had said yes to something that made sense, and it's reciprocal and it's cohesive to me, and like basically it's a mutual benefit. The gym I go to, they received a payment and I am a happy member, and my kids can enjoy it too. So boom, I do the class as I'm leaving, because how they do it, like I guess most gyms, when you're a guest, they either take a picture, scan your ID or whatever. These people, they take yours. So they take my ID at the beginning. And so now it's time to leave. I have to stop by, which they get you to sell. It's another selling point. And so he's like, oh, so yeah, like I know you was gonna sign up. I said, like I have to think about it. He's like, no, like think about it. What do you mind? Think about it, right? And so they try to butter you at the beginning, because it's like everybody wants to be, you have to think, if it's a salesman's mindset, you have to meet your customer or your target audience on their level. So again, this is also my business mind tapping in at the same time. But also, I'm not even thinking that, because I still feel like I got free will, and I do, but clearly I wasn't practicing it well. So I'm like, okay, let me see what y'all talking about. What's y'all's deals? What's the monthly things? Because I'm going to compare it to what I got. But even then, I already know I got what I got, and I'm happy where I'm at, right? Once he got that one little opportunity of a yes, right, that I was talking about at the beginning, it went downhill from there. It went downhill from there. So as I'm sitting there, he's like, okay, let me get your information. I'm gonna pull you up. Where do you work at? I tell him. He's like, oh, bet, there's like a discount that you can get working there. I'm like, all right, bet. Let me see what y'all talking about. It can't be better than what I'm getting now, but let me see what y'all talking about. So he's looking it up or whatever. And as he's talking, there's more people coming in asking me for that yes, meaning on the back end, while he's trying to set me up for an account, there's already a motherfucker that's like set to know, like, oh yeah, you already are going to sign this account. Yeah, you're getting this account. So go ahead and book training. Not telling you the full guidelines of what comes with that, how much it's going to cost anything. They're just selling you on it, right? You just going through it. I'm trying to get the fuck up out of there. Y'all are holding my ID hostage at this point. Y'all are holding my fucking ID hostage. I want it back. I just want to go. Now my social anxiety is like coming up. It's bubbling in the chest now, right? So originally I was cool when I walked out, but then now y'all got me right. It was here, now it's here. And I don't like that. So as I'm sitting there, waiting for this man to give me my fucking ID, and this other guy's like, yeah, what's your fitness goals? I'm like, nigga, the only goal is quality of life, a good quality of life. Like, I don't have a goal to lose a certain amount of weight. That shit is not on my mind. Latanya is good at any motherfucking weight. That's the problem. And I need my girlies and my men's out here to really get that in your fucking head. That way we cannot just be sold dreams, okay? You look good as fuck at no matter like whatever height requirement, like for the short kings and the tall girlies, because the tall girlies, we be trying to shrink and not wear the heels when we need to be stepping out in the motherfucking steppers, okay? Just to make somebody else feel comfortable, because now you a motherfucking green giant. Stand there, looking like a green giant, looking like a sexy ass green giant. Make them slap. Make them wish that they had them legs, okay? But sorry, y'all. So I have always felt good. So my goals with like my fitness is not necessarily a target weight or a target goal. I just want it to be a lifestyle at this point, and I'm doing that. And in that moment, I'm not even giving myself the moment to sit with myself and think anything. I'm just running with the yes, because I'm just trying to get somewhere. So as he's talking me into the thing, now he's trying to get information, and two things happen. For the people who understand and get it, you hear what I'm about to say. For the people who think this is some woo-woo shit, I don't give a fuck. This is my experience. This is what I go through. Hear a loud, sharp ringing in my ear, okay? And I'm trying to remember, I think it was my left ear. So I'm like, I hear you. I hear you. And I'm one of those people where I will know exactly what that ring means originally when it happens, but I love to play devil's advocate with it. Meaning I'll be like, but how do I know this is what you really mean? Girl, you got the damn answer. Now that's your fault. Whatever happens after, this is your fault. But basically, that first thing is, as I'm still waiting on them to do whatever he got to do, I hear it ringing in my ear to where now I'm aware. Now I'm like, okay, you need to tap in spiritually to what's going on. And next thing you know, he's like, okay, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna pay $10 for this, then you're gonna do this. I said, whoa, 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 how do we go from a cent and you out the fucking door to now it's this, this, and this? And then he did something that a lot of people, if you know Planet Fitness, and that's my pet peeve. I don't like a motherfucker that springs stuff up on me as we go along. Don't sell me a good dream, and then once you got me in the entryway of the damn house, now it's like the house is really fucking burnt down. There was no house to begin with. There was only a motherfucking doorway to chaos. Okay? Don't do that to me. I like to know up front what we're about to get into. That way I can make the best decision, not only for myself, but for the group overall. What are we going to do? Okay? Is this something we can handle? Is this outside of our capacity? Right? And so in my mind, he never asked me if I'm with another gym, because again, they don't give a fuck. He's rushing me through it like, you know, I got the bread. Babe, I came in here on a guest pass to just see my homegirl and support my friend. That's really what I came in here for. I already have a gym. I'm happy. I got my own little workout like lifestyle outside of this shit. I don't want to be stuck between the gym. I don't even like going to the gym I go to unless it is for purpose. Like, I'm like, all right, babe, you're not running. We need to get in that gym. So it was just like, why? And then now I'm checking myself. Why he's doing dumb shit, I'm saying why. So I remember and recall when the first guy came up, the guy that was trying to sell me on this $10 personal training stuff, he came up and he was like, oh yeah, so what day would you want to meet? You want to meet tomorrow? Okay, let me look at my schedule. You can go on at 12. How about that? I'm like, I mean, sure. And this is Latanya, your yes hat is currency. Sure. Because now I'm tired. Y'all done beat me down emotionally and I'm flared up. Social anxiety's flared up. I just feel like running out of here, Naruto style, out this bitch, okay? Really make y'all scared of me. Just really make y'all scared of me. But I digress. I'm trying to hold it together. I said, like, okay. Now some random ass motherfucker butts into the conversation and goes, yeah, no, she's not seeing him at 12. She's seeing him at 11. Now y'all is just picking fucking times? And so then the guy tries to reassure me. Nah, he's her 12. He's her 12. And he's like, yeah, no, it's 11. The dude is adamant. This nigga that I've never seen before is adamant on what me and this guy discussed prior to him coming up. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't want that. I really don't want none of this shit. I just don't want that. I can cancel the subscription or a membership, but doing all this and thinking y'all going to swipe my information or my card for it, because how I'm saying it is going to make sense in a few seconds. So now I'm just like, this nigga butts in, tells me no, he says 11. This man's like, okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and run your card for $10 for the meeting tomorrow. I said, well, yeah, I don't have to do that meeting tomorrow. I can do it another day. What do you mean? You don't wanna do it tomorrow? No, I can, and now I'm using my no, right? Now I'm investing the CASHBACK, which is investing in love, self-love. I don't need that. I don't. First of all, I'm a part of a community of I got so many fitness trainers that I could pick from. Not only fitness trainers, I got Zumba classes, I got line dance. I got so many people, they got specialties up inside of Run Club that if I genuinely want to invest in something, I'm going to invest in somebody that I genuinely appreciate, right? I'm a part of community with them. And it's something that they enjoy, so I know I'm going to get a good experience. Not somebody who's just trying to cash the fuck in for a corporation, for a number, bro. So I'm about to listen, I be going on my tangents. So anyways, I tell him, never mind, don't worry about it, okay? Now mind you, in the midst of all this shit going on, he does ask me for my work ID, and I don't even remember that because of all the things that's going on, right? So I gave him my work ID. I finally get my driver's license back, and that's when I'm so tired of leaving that motherfucker everywhere, and I'm tired of paying that fee. So I'm just like, I'm watching it like a hawk. I got a tracker on that hoe. Bring that back. No, bring that. Do you got 53 for me? Oh, you don't? Give that shit back. So I finally get my ID, my driver's license, but I didn't even peep that he still had my dang school ID. So as I tell these people no, and he said, well, we're just going to run the car. Oh, and the big thing that was an indicator, after my ears rang, right? He tried to put my account information in to my bank. Now, mind you, I use that bank. I get my direct deposits, everything. And as he puts the routing and account information in, it doesn't like pull up a name to the bank. And so I noticed that, and I'm just like, well, maybe it'll pull up once, like, you know how you hit enter or whatever the fuck tab, now it pops up. It never pops up a name, but I'm like, well, I'm gonna let him figure that out. That ain't my job. You want my bread. It's not popping up her bank. What should we do? Oh, just add another bank. I said, well, never mind. I don't have another bank. I don't have another bank for y'all. I don't have another bank for y'all. And if it don't work, this is another reason why this don't work. I said, you know what? I don't need this. And this is like right before prior, like I said, this is prior to this man telling me that the class ain't at 12 or the meeting ain't at 12, it's at 11. So the bank doesn't work. Then whenever I'm trying to do my card, it's like not registering my card. So I was like, maybe you genuinely, this is a big ass no. Maybe this is a red flag and I'm not even noticing it. I'm just going through the yeses. And that's the issue in all of this. I'm gonna get to the main point after this. We almost done. So I finally say, fuck it. I don't have to, I'm not held to standing here. I'm not held to doing this. So I tell him, I said, listen, don't worry about trying to figure out when the class is. I will do it when I'm ready to do that. I will come back in and tell y'all. And in the sense, I'm not even paying attention that this man still was holding my fucking work ID hostage at this point. I'm just going through the motions. I get the motherfucking audacity to just walk the fuck out. Once I realize people are not listening to me and they're gonna bulldoze my answer because I gave them an original yes, this is for somebody. You're allowed to say no at any fucking point. And that's the point of yes being currency and no being a cashback. Even if you start going down that path of yeses that you know are leading to nowhere fast, you can at any time say, this is the no. Yeah, we're ending here. I'm jumping off the fucking train here. This is where my journey ends. And a lot of times I feel like when we say yes to people, we have it in our mind that there's no one else that's going to take them up on this opportunity, or you're divinely meant to do this because yada, 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 your purpose is to, listen, I'm sorry to call it dumb shit, but it really is. It's a lot of the excuses that we make up to continue to have self-sabotaging ways, which is why I started with saying earlier, your spirituality, you need to have a spiritual life and you need to have a mental life, because once you make space for one, you allow the other one to exist as well or coexist, and you're able to see the duality in things, and you're also able to make a better judgment whenever you can't rely on your brain or your mental health. Because like a lot of times I'll be like, babe, mentally, I don't know where the fuck you're at. Is the ego leading us? Is truth leading us? Is society leading us? Is social media leading us? And I need to check out of that and go to another realm to understand myself and what's going on around me at the same time, and where I'm spilling too much, while I'm distracted. Like when I get to step into my spiritual life, I get to make space for my mental health, and I get to see it from a different perspective, a third eye view in a sense. That's really what I want to say, a third eye view. And a lot of that shame, guilt, a lot of the pressure that you're putting yourself on, even you'll be able to kind of realize, like when I talk about capacity again, you'll be able to realize you're focusing or hyper-focusing on some shit that don't make no sense to you. And then you can sit down and evaluate, is this a pattern? And is this a cycle? And that's why I'm saying mental health and spiritual life is very much important. And I don't care who you believe in. Because honestly, if you haven't noticed, based off the world we live in, whatever you choose to give belief to is what it exists. Whatever you choose to believe in is real to you in your experience, and you will see it in your experience. So whether that is Christ, whether that is Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, whether that's the Most High, whether that's I just believe in Source, listen, whatever it is, you still need to have that to also kind of coexist and navigate your mental health, which is why I'm saying your yes is currency, because mentally, when you're already low and you're also an empath, right? Let's use mental health terms. When you move in that way, sometimes you just keep, like, you're a source in a world that has a lot of plugs. Everybody's wanting to plug into your energy. Everybody's wanting to get something from you. Everything is a transactional relationship. And I hate that because things can be collaborative. Things can give life to both things at the same time. Things can serve a different purpose in each existence in a great way without overshining or outshining one another, because it shouldn't even matter if you're living in your purpose and you're moving in your mission. But your yes is your currency, because once I finally walked out, then I drove away and realized I left my fucking ID. I was like, fuck, and I don't want to go through this again. I'm just going to let this be another day. This is not today's issue, right? I want to live my life. I have things that I set out to do, and I'm going to do that. Once I was driving, that's whenever your yes is currency popped up. And what I said earlier was your yes is currency. When you decide to give out that yes, and the example I gave is when sometimes you find yourself where somebody will present you with an opportunity and you say yes to it, because how they give it to you, it's not the full story. They kind of give you just like the cute little summary that they give you on the back of the book, or when you open the book and it gives you that little insight about the book on the inside. They only give you a piece of the story. And then by the time you actually take that piece and say yes to that, you see the whole picture, and that's a lot bigger than what you expected. And there's a lot more yeses tied to that you thought originally once you said yes, that this was a one and done. Whether that's helping family, friends, giving to relationships. You'll keep pouring into a relationship one-sided. You know it's been one-sided for a long time. You keep coming up with excuses and you keep being drained, and then you want to keep blaming the same person. No. You keep giving that yes when you can literally say no at any time. And when I say no, it's like your self-love. When I finally walked away and said, fuck that shit, right? I realized that was like me saying yes to myself for something else. And I had a few situations and scenarios happen over the past few weeks that kind of confirmed this message today, where it was like I was getting opportunities, but they weren't technically aligned with where I'm at now. They aligned in different seasons of my life, or would have served a good purpose in another time. And I almost said another timeline. I guess I should say exactly what I mean to me, what I fucking say. In another timeline, these make sense. But now they don't. And honestly, sometimes they only pop up to practice to see, are you ready to walk into what you're walking or called to walk into? Or are you wanting to stay stagnant? Is when the opportunity of a cycle or a loop pops up, if you choose to say yes, even if you think that you have the boundary to say no eventually, you already lost. You already failed the test, babe. And I'm only telling you from personal experience. God has been wanting me to practice my no for such a long time. He never questioned my yes. And this is for somebody. He never questioned your yes because he knows that you would give it abundantly. But what he wants to see is that you have discipline with your no's. He wants to see those no's show up, because that means that you are moving in discernment. And when you're moving in discernment, you're moving in wisdom. And you're not going to just allow things to happen, because you're going to sit with yourself and genuinely think about, how does this tax me mentally? How does this serve me? And for the business people, because I know I got some entrepreneurs in the motherfucking building. When you start to really look at your life like a business model, and you'll realize that you're not going to say yes if it doesn't benefit the business. If it doesn't benefit the brand, the business, if it doesn't provide, access to new opportunities, you're not just going to be willing to cash out and say yes, 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 just to say you fucking did it. You're not. You're going to look at the value. What is my return on investment? And what is the overall value of what I'm about to pour out and what I'm actually going to receive back? And I had my mentor, I'm not going to disclose who she is because I got to keep that gem under the... She talked to me because it was a scenario where a business offered me an opportunity, and I was so excited to just be in movement. I'm ready to move in purpose, and I want to be doing my purpose, right? And so of course the enemy is going to present you with the opportunity of purpose to deter you off of your path. And he's going to dress it up. He's going to make it sound really cute. It's going to sound like it's going to give Amazon package delivery. Oh my God, this came from me. You know you didn't order shit. And if you did, you know exactly what you ordered. So when you open that package and realize it's not what you asked for, why are you not closing that door? Why are you not saying return to sender? Catch it. Okay? Catch it. Because that's what that no comes in. That's where that self-love comes in. When I basically, so going back to that opportunity, they offered me an opportunity and it was all of what I could do for them, and there was no return on me. And they hit me with something that it really stuck out to me, because people used to say it to me in my past, and it means you downplaying me, bitch. You are trying to downplay my purpose and who I am already at the front gate before I even step in purpose around you. And if you're doing that, I don't even need to be in that space. You don't need to be in that space either. But basically, they was like telling me everything that they were requiring out of me, what they want, right? And I was cool with that, because I mean, you should know exactly what you want. But if you're always looking for somebody to give something and you don't look at anything that you should do as reciprocal, or just pouring in because you need to pour in, and then also knowing your limits with that pouring, that's next opportunity, babe. And when it happened originally, they hit me with you can learn, you can get some experience, you can learn. And yes, I could learn, but I'm in a season that God had walked me through so many things that at this point I'm a resource. And sometimes you genuinely just not need to start calling it like the fuck it is. I am that girl, I am that guy, I am a fucking resource, I am a motherfucking kind healer in this world. I speak life into people. Like, whatever it is that you do, I move in purpose. I move organically or authentically to where other people can feel like they can be themselves as well. Whatever it is that you need to do, you just need to claim that shit. And so I am resourceful. I am a resource. Whatever room you put me in, I'm a resource to that room. And so when she made it seem like I'm the only thing that I'm going to get out of that is experience, return to sender. And the message changed later, but I checked with my mentor first. This is again why, babe, you already had the wisdom to make that decision and to say no. But again, if you need validation from others, it's okay to check with those who actually are invested in your best. And so I told her about it. She was like, I heard a lot about what you're going to do for them. What are they doing for you? When she said it, I was like, your yes is currency. Because I could have said yes to that and ran myself ragged and not been moving in purpose, and then would have looked up 6 months down the line and been saying yes to a lot of bullshit when I already should have sat with that answer. I should have, for one, sat with myself. And because people were rushing me, it was like in the same situation that I had today at the gym. It was the same situation I went through with that organization, where it was like, I feel like you're rushing me into a yes, but you're not even letting me sit with what you are offering. And then I had another situation happen like that, like prior to that, where it's like, I'm gonna make it sound good for you, but really you're about to have to pour out. If I know who I am, and you should know who you are too, if I know who the fuck I am, I can bet on myself, and everything that I'm going to receive and everything that you're going to receive in this world is going to be on the receiving end. You're not going to have to pour out. You're not going to have to sacrifice yourself to receive it. Jesus Christ is not literally, when I say this, if you do not believe in the Bible, but you look at it as a book of stories, listen, if we listen to Cat in the Motherfucking Hat, okay? Dr. Seuss, all the series, okay? Sesame Street Baddies. Are you with me? Okay? We believe all these stories when we were growing up. Hell, superheroes, all of the things. Okay? Leaders from the past, motherfucking activists, all these things. If we can have belief in those things, you can have belief in a story, right? And I know that when people read the Bible, it's up to for your own interpretation. And a lot of times, if you read any story, you'll find new insight every time you read it. And so for me, when I read about this story of Christ being crucified, right, I kind of look at that as a reminder from God that you don't have to be a martyr. And I know people be like, oh, so you really think if one man came and died for your sins? No, I know for sure. I'm just kidding. Let me stop. when I look at that story, I look at it as an example to other humans, because like, think about all the other stories like Snow White. You can look at the story of the victim, or you can look at this, or the victim, victor story, or you can look at the villain story, because the villain also has a story too. There's a reason, there's a journey to the villainization that happens, babe. They don't just start off as villains. They have a story too. And both people all had a choice. And both of the people, the victor and the villain, they both had some serious situations that just shaped who they were, except somebody had a choice. And they chose two different paths. That's it. That's the only difference. And so when I think about the story of Christ's crucifixion, for me, in times that I've read it in the past, to me, it's always been a reminder to me that I don't have to be a martyr because someone has already done it. And I've seen how that story played out. And I see how many people mock him now. And I see the stories of, oh, that ain't real, and da-da-da. I just see how it's played out now. And that's my point of, you don't have to live the story of Christ. He didn't send you here to be Christ, okay? Did that, okay? And so in this, you don't have to say yes to people where you're just draining yourself because you're not sent here to be a savior. And if you're sent here to be a savior, you're not supposed to be the same type of savior. Because even Christ himself, in the book that everybody likes to discredit, he had moments where he stepped away. He had moments where he was weak. He had moments where it was like, yo, yes, I am a healer, but y'all gonna have to deal with this on your own. I gotta go 40 days, 40 nights. I know what the fuck y'all about to do with me, and I still gotta move in purpose. And that's another thing I get from that. It's like just having that perseverance. When you know your purpose, you know your calling, you don't move from it. Despite who pops up in the distractions, you just need to use that discernment in that season. And so when I say you don't have to be a martyr, you don't have to be a martyr with your yeses. Sometimes I feel like you'll say yes and yes and yes and yes, and then when it's time for you to even use any other word but yes, like help me, baby, can you help me? Then there's no one there. There's no one there. And so I'm tired. I am tired, but that was just the story. And the self-love part, because I do want to touch on that real quick before I get off. When you say no, no is next opportunity. When people tell you no, because there's people who have an issue with hearing no, and then there's people who have an issue with saying no. No matter if you're receiving or saying no, no is next opportunity for the person receiving it and the person giving it. Meaning, if I tell you no, this is for you. It's a next opportunity. We don't align in this season. We don't align for this project or this mission that you're needing me on right now. But that doesn't mean that there's going to be a whole row of no's. You're going to get the yes that you need. The right person is going to align with you. The divine alignment is going to occur. I might not be the person, even though you felt like I was. Same thing when you're receiving the no. There's so many times, especially in this season, where people are losing jobs or trying to transition to jobs, going from content creation back to work. Like, your no's means something. If it don't align with what you see for yourself, why are you saying yes to it? Like, it don't make no damn sense. And so that's what season I'm in. Them no's, when I get told a no, especially like for roles, I'm like, okay, I got all the credentials, I'm doing this, I know who I am, right? They could still tell a bitch no. And now there was a time where I would have went into deep depression because you rejected me. I took the no as rejection. And I think that a lot of people, we link certain words to emotions. And emotions are fleeting, so you're never supposed to rely on an emotion, which that's a sermon for another day. But yeah, no is next opportunity. When I receive my no's, I take it as like, when someone says no, I'll be like, that, yeah, you just don't see eye to eye, that's cool, and you just don't understand, and that's cool too. You don't gotta, and also if someone tells you no, you ain't gotta hate them. And you don't have to know why their no is a no. We gotta respect each other, because also I think sometimes we have an issue of when things happen to us, or we take it and project back onto others like this negative vibe because of the emotions that we have attached to the words that they say to us. And a lot of the times when people are speaking, they are not aware, which is why they say do not take anything personal. That is one of the 4 agreements. That's like, I think number 1 of the 4 agreements. Do not take shit personal. Because a lot of times people are not fully aware. They are living in their fucking experience. You have to realize the same way you're the main character here, they're the main character in their experience. And so they're not aware of that shit. And so when they say no, they might be telling you no from the place like they didn't have that no. They've been learning how to say that no. And now you're taking it as they fucking hate you. This is rejection. You don't really want to be in my life. You don't love me. No. Just respect they no. Because a lot of times it's really just the enemy knows that rejection is what scares you. That rejection is that as soon as I get her rejected, she's going to turn off course. She's going to start making the wrong decisions. She's going to start moving out of discernment. Same thing in that scenario where it's like, instead of looking at it as rejection, I'll be like, okay, they said no, so who's going to say yes? And when you have that mindset, baby, the opportunities flow to where the no's just, you don't really hear them. You know? But no. Thank you guys for tuning into this message. I'm trying to be more consistent, y'all. I'm trying. I want to give y'all good looks, but also a bitch likes to be comfortable. All right, y'all, I'm done. Have a good night.